Welcome back to my channel Celeb Buzz. Please share and subscribe and press the bell icon for new updates. Barbara Billingsley really hated him more than anyone. Barbara Billingsley was born Barbara Lillian Combs on December 22 in 1915 in Los Angeles, California. She was raised by her mom alone after her parents divorced. Young Barbara grew up during hard times of the Great Depression, even though money was tight. She learned to work hard and love culture and art. After going to Los Angeles Junior College and studying drama at the University of Southern California, she moved to New York to follow her dreams of becoming an actress. Like many young people who wanted to be performers, Bogdan, she started modeling to make money. Her classic beauty and nice way of acting finally opened the door to Hollywood. Billingsley started her acting career in the 1940s, appearing in small parts in different B-movies and comedies. Even though many of these parts were small, they helped her build a good start in the movie business. She appeared in movies like Three Guys Named Mike in 1951 and The Bad and the Beautiful in 1952. Getting experience and getting better at her craft, she worked steadily through the 1940s and early 1950s. But it wasn't until the TV boom of the late 1950s that she found the role that would make her career famous and make her a cultural icon. In 1957, Barbara was cast as June Cleaver, the perfectly dressed and very patient mother on Leave It to Beaver show. That would become one of the most long-lasting family sitcoms in American TV history. The show aired from 1957 to 1963. The series showed the perfect picture of mid-20th century suburban life. As June, Barbara showed warmth, dignity, and a strong moral compass. Always giving wisdom and love to her sons Wally and Beaver, while being a strong supportive partner to her husband Ward. The role, though often made fun of in latter years for being too perfect, was played with such honesty and grace by Billingsley that it became famous rather than silly. Though her character was known for wearing pearls and high heels even while doing housework. Billingsley later explained that the pearls helped cover a dent in her necks, looked weird on camera, and the heels simply made her look taller next tough. Young actors playing her sons. Her performance, however, went much deeper than clothing choices. She brought depth, warmth, and quiet strength to the role, showing that a mother could be both caring and wise, soft-spoken yet firm. After Leave It to Beaver ended in 1963, Billingsley stepped away from the spotlight to focus on her family. She was a devoted mother herself, raising two sons and loving her private life. For several years, she made only OCCASIONAL TV appearances. However, in the 1980s, her career got a second chance, starting with a memorable comedy turn in the 1980 movie Airplane, in which she made fun of her wholesome image by hilariously speaking jive to passengers. The role showed her great sense of humor and willingness to make fun of her own typecasting, making her loved by a whole new group of fans. Later, she returned to the role of June Cleaver in the TV movie Still the Beaver in 1983, and the TV series that followed the new Leave It to Beaver, which ran from 1984 to 1989. In these new shows, she played an older version of June, still wise and supportive, now giving guidance to a grown-up Beaver and his family. Her return to the role served as a bridge between generations, making her status stronger as a lasting symbol of motherly strength and grace. After the new Leave It to Beaver ended its run in 1989, Billingsley appeared in guest roles on Parker Lewis, Can't Lose, Empty Nest, and Murphy Brown. She also played her role as June Cleaver again in different TV's HOWs, including Elvira's movie Macabre, Amazing Stories, Baby Boom, Hi Honey, I'm Home, and Roseanne. In 1998, she appeared on Candid Camera with June Lockhart and Isabel Sanford as audience members in a fake seminar on motherhood. Billingsley's final movie role was Aunt Martha in the 1997 movie version of Leave It to Beaver, which made her finale on screen. Appearance in the 2003 TV movie Secret Santa, Through the Third Life. Barbara Billingsley stayed beloved by fans not just for her most famous role, but for the values she presented: kindness, honesty, intelligence, and caring. She was known off-screen for being warm and friendly. Truly thankful fourth love audiences felt for her, though she sometimes said she felt bad about being typecast. She also understood how important June Cleaver was as a positive role model and never spoke badly off the part that made her famous. Barbara Billingsley was married 3 times throughout her life and was the devoted mother of 2 sons. Each of her mariaged different stages of her personal and work journey. The relationships she formed during these years played an important role in shaping the woman who would later become a beloved American TV icon. Her first marriage took place in 1941 when she married Glenn Billingsley Sr., successful restaurant owner with ties to one of the most glamorous social landmarks of the time. Glenn was a nephew of Sherman Billingsley, a famous and charismatic owner of the Stork Club in New York City, an elite nightclub visited by movie stars, politicians, and other important people of the 1930s. In the 1940s, Glenn Billingsley Sr. followed in his uncle's business footsteps, managing and running a number of restaurants across the Los Angeles area. These included the well-known Billingsley's Golden Bull, Billingsley's Spokane, and the Outrigger, Polynesian-themed restaurants which captured them mid-century love with exoticized island culture and food. He also saw in a Stork Club with his name located in Key West, Florida, trying to bring the style of New York nightlife to the tropics. Barbara and Glenn lived in Key West for a short time after their marriage. During this time, she embraced life as a young wife while starting to look for opportunities in modeling and acting. The couple had 2 sons together, Drew and Glenn Jr., and Barbara took pride in her role as a mother, balancing her growing dreams in Hollywood with their responsibilities of raising her children. Despite the obvious glamour and promise of their life together, the marriage had difficulties. In 1947, after 6 years of marriage, Barbara and Glenn divorced. Their relationship ended. Barbara stayed focused on building a stable home for her sons while steadily climbing the ladder in the entertainment business. 6 years after her first divorce, in 1953, Barbara entered her second marriage, this time to Roy Kellino, a talented British-born movie and TV director known for his work on both sides of the Atlantic. Kellino was a respected person in the business, having directed different movie projects as well as early TV's HOWs, and he brought a creative energy into Barbara's life that matched with her own artistic passions. Their union was seen as a partnership not only of love, but also of mutual respect for each other's work. Unfortunately, their time together was tragically cut short. In 1956, just 3 years into their marriage, Kellino died suddenly of a heart attack at the age of 44. His unexpected death left Barbara widowed and sad. And Thelus marked a very emotional time for her. Despite the sadness, she found the strength to carry on, and Fata soon stepped in an amazing way. Only 6 months after Kellino's passing, she was offered the script for a pilot called It's a Small World, a project that would grow into the legendary TV series Leave It to Beaver, where she would forever be remembered as perfect TV mom June Cleaver. Barbara's third and final marriage came in 1959 when she married William S. Mortensen, a respected member of the business community who gave her stability and companionship during the most successful years of her career. Mortensen was not involved in the entertainment world, but he was deeply supportive of Barbara's work and stood by her side as she became a household name. Their marriage lasted for over 2 decades, a sign of the strength of their bond and the comfort they found in knowing another. Together, they built a quiet, fulfilling life that balanced her public recognition with personal peace. The couple stayed happily married until William's death in 1981, marking the end of a deeply important chapter in Barbara's personal life. Though Barbara Billingsley experienced both joy and sadness in her relationships, she approached each marriage with grace and strength. Through her roles as a wife, mother, widow, and public figure, she showed strength, caring, and unwavering dignity. Her family stayed a source of deep pride for her through life, and her love for her children and spouses echoed in her heartfelt portrayals of warmth and kindness on screen. For generations of Americans, Barbara Billingsley and Jerry Mathers symbolized the ideal TV-mo-son relationship, As June Cleaver and Theodore Beaver Cleaver on Levi to Beaver, they projected warmth, understanding, and mutual love. But, behind the scenes, far from the picture-perfect suburban backdrop of the 1950s sitcom, their real-life dynamic was far more complicated. So much so that according to whispers on the set and stories from insiders, Barbara Billingsley may have held deep-seated resentment, frustration, and at times outright hate toward her on-screen son. In the earliest days of filming Leave It to Beaver, Barbara reportedly loved the fresh-faced boy who had just turned 9. Jerry was smart but polite, charming but humble. Kay knew his lines and looked at the part. But as the seasons went on, naturally, fondness allegedly began to turn sour. Jerry's behavior changed, began Torbell. Not in wild headline-making ways, but in subtle, constant ways that tested Barbara's patience. He would show up late to the set, forget his lines, fidget during scenes, or break character with jokes that messed up filming. Elise. Antics made him loved by the younger crew and cast. Barbara, ever the perfect professional, considered such behavior a break of discipline. Her frustrations, according to some reports, were made worse by the way Jerry was spoiled by producers and directors. He was Thester, the Beaver of the show, and thus protected from criticism. Barbara, who had spent years clawing her way through the Hollywood system with elegance and grace, believed being professional came first. The fact? Thada, child actor, in her view, was allowed Thomas behave without consequence reportedly made her furious. She found herself correcting him off camera, speaking sternly and even asking for stricter discipline, only to be told to let the boy be a boy. Privately, she would complain to friends and colleagues that Jerry lacked humility, how he had become spoiled by fame and attention. During interviews in latter years, she never directly criticized Jerry, always keeping a gracious tone, but some insiders noted the strained undertones in her voice when his name was brought up. According to one from our crew member, Barbara once said, "In private, I gave that boy my best years. He gave me headaches." But perhaps the most lasting resentment come from what Barbara saw as a lack of gratitude. After Leave It to Beaver ended, she felt that Jerry distanced himself from the cast, especially her, as she tried to move into other roles. She often found herself typecast as the perfect mom. Meanwhile, Jerry leaned into the famous show gave him. Even as he stepped away from acting, reportedly never reached out during some of her most difficult years, when she was caring for a sick husband, when she was fighting Tobe, taken seriously as a dramatic actress, or even when she lost opportunities. Duetto? Lingering typecasting from their T-Mad Agther. The final straw may have come during the early 1980s somewhere on a Leave It to Beaver reunion project was proposed. Carrie, now a grown man, was excited about playing his iconic role again. But Barbara, though professional on the outside, was said to have bristled at the idea. She considered it pandering nostalgia, a painful reminder of years she would rather forget. She allegedly told a friend, "It's like being asked to walk back into a coach. That show defined me, but it also trapped me. And he, Jerry, was always lost golden. While I was just Thelody and Pearls." Despite this, Barbara always kept a dignified public image. Even if the resentment toward Jerry Mathers was as deep and lasting as some claim, she never allowed it to ruin her carefully built persona to the world. They were mother and son, TV's perfect pair. But behind the scenes, the emotional distance between them may have been greater than any own imagined. Barbara Billingsley, the beloved actress best known for her iconic portrayal of the wholesome and nurturing June Cleaver on the classic TV's Leave It to Beaver, passed away on October 16, 2010, at the age of 94. Her death occurred peacefully at her longtime home in Santa Monica, California, a city she had grown deeply attached to over the decades. According to public statements released by her family and representatives, the cause of her death was polymyalgia rheumatica, a chronic inflammatory disorder that typically affects older adults and is characterized by muscle pain and stiffness. Though the condition is not commonly fatal, complications from the disease, especially in individuals of advanced age, can significantly impact quality of life and overall health. In her final years, Billingsley had largely withdrawn from the public, living quietly and privately. Surrounded by close friends and family members who remained devoted to her comfort and well-being. Her passing marked the end of a remarkable era in TV history, as she had come to symbolize an entire generation's idealized vision of motherly warmth, grace, and quiet strength. Tributes poured in from fans, from Mirko stars, and TV historians alike, whom remembered her not only for her polished performances, but also for her genuine kindness and professionalism screen. Despite her fame, those who knew her personally often spoke of her humility, humor, and gentle manner. Following her death, Barbara Billingsley is laid to rest at the Woodlawn Memorial Cemetery in Santa Monica, a peaceful and historic cemetery that has long surveyed as the final resting place for many of Hollywood's notable figures. The cemetery is nestled among tree-lined paths and well-kept lawns, offering a serene and respectful setting for remembrance. Kay Graves' site has since become a modest but meaningful place of pilgrimage for admirers who fondly recall the calm wisdom and elegance she brought to heralds, particularly as the perfect TV mother whose legacy continues to influence portrayals of women and family life in media. Though she has passed on, Barbara Billingsley's memory lives on through endless reruns of Leave It to Beaver and the hearts of generations who found comfort, humor, and moral clarity in her timeless performances.